Hello, boys and girls. Hello, boys and girls. Oh, well. Okay. I'm going to talk to you again. This time I want to, and I'll try to do it. I don't think I can do it under 10 minutes. I've tried several times already to record this thing under 10 minutes. If I had the special privilege, as some do, to have an open-ended YouTube upload, I could talk for 30 minutes. And my recording would not automatically be cut off at 10 minutes. Unfortunately for me, I can't discuss everything I want to discuss in a mere 10 minutes, but I will try to. Now, the reason I'm making this video right now, it's really more of an audio than a video. Just watch the flapping curtain. You're getting sleepy. Very sleepy. Relax. Watch the flapping curtain. Alright, never mind. But it is kind of mesmerizing. Just relax and listen to what I have to say here. The reason I'm making the video this time is I've had some additional collective thoughts concerning the 500,000 people who have left the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They can't all have been offended. Oh yeah, well they were offended, all right. They were offended at lies, deception, and other types of things, duress, manipulation, and other things. But I'm going to concentrate on the fact that they were lied to. They were sold a bill of goods. Do you know what it means to be sold a bill of goods? They were sold down the river. Many of them leave because of that, because of lies. Now you can call it, you can say they have problems with the doctrine, but they say they have problems with the doctrine, because the doctrines don't all line up. And some will say, I have problems with changes to the doctrines. For example, the late President Gordon B. Hinckley changed a doctrine. As man is, God once was. As God is, man may become. That, by the way, has been accepted as doctrine, and I went through the archives and noticed dozens of talks over the last 45 years anyway, reaching back into the first half of the 1960s, where general authorities, and you can do the same thing, you can do a search at LDS.org, you can do that, do a search, and see all the different general authorities who talked on this subject. And they all believed it. It's an unwritten doctrine. Do you know why it's unwritten? Because it does not appear in... Oh, it's written all right. It was written that Joseph Smith really liked it when Lorenzo Snow presented it to him in a written communication from England, where Lorenzo Snow was sent on a mission. I think Lorenzo Snow was one of the quorum of the 12 sent to England to preach the gospel and convert the people over there. And this was during the Nauvoo period. And Joseph Smith liked it so much that only within a short period of time after hearing of it, he had to preach a funeral sermon, or that is to say, he accepted the invitation to preach a funeral sermon. Is actually a burial sermon. He was out, as they used to do, they used to preach the funeral sermon right at the graveside, so it was a burial sermon, of a man by the name of Follett. His first name was King, and that wasn't his title. That was his first name, King Follett. So it's called the King Follett Funeral Sermon. And Joseph Smith preached that as doctrine, as truth. And ever since, the members of the church have believed it. And it has been preached up at every available opportunity at General Conference, or when that theme has been presented at conference. Different themes at different times. But over the course of the last 50 years that I know of, and reaching back even further, but in the archives I only went back as far as around 1960, 61, somewhere like that. The point is, doctrine has changed. Has God changed? No, but doctrine has changed. And there's a story behind that. I'll get to that next time. I won't delve into the story as to why and how Gordon Hinckley changed that doctrine. But it's an interesting thing. People leave when they see that the presidents of the church can say anything they want is doctrine and override what other previous but dead presidents have said. Literally, he's overriding President Hinckley's now dead, but he overrode what Joseph Smith Jr. presented as doctrine. So now you see that any president of the church can just put down his trump card and say, no, the dead prophets are dead, but you just pay attention to a living prophet now. I say, what God? That makes God a capricious, fickle, changeable monkey. And there's enough people that are just say, enough is enough. So people have doctrinal issues, see, and I'm not going to, I don't present doctrinal issues. I'll leave that to some of the others on the internet and on YouTube and other places to deal with doctrine. The two reasons people leave: doctrinal issues and the hypocrisy and lies. Okay? The Mormon Church could believe that the moon is made of green cheese. Honest to God, they could. But if they present it to the people interested in finding out about the church, if they present it in a way that is full of misleading deception, because any time you present something in a misleading way, you're deceiving, right? Right? Of course you are. They're not getting the truth. They're getting you're getting misled. So if they believe the moon is made of green cheese, I could care less. Let every group believe what they want. But if they deceive people into coming into the church based on telling them one thing, and then they learn later about the belief that the moon is made of something else. And this is just a fictitious example. We're not talking about the moon, are we? This is a metaphor. This is a metaphor only. The presentation is one thing. Presentation. That's what Mr. Schindler, Oskar Schindler, was all about. Presentation, flash and panache. During World War II, he presented an image to Hitler, and Hitler bought into it. This is just an analogy, and the Mormon missionaries do the same thing. They have a presentation, and people buy into it, and later they learn the truth. So it's not so much the doctrine, it's the deception and lies and covering up lies. You have to have an image. You have an image to maintain when there's lies. I'll repeat it. You have an image to maintain when there's lies. It's all about image, which is not real. An image is a projection. It's not reality. There you go. So, we'll talk more next time.